In previous videos, I talked about sponsored product ads and the different sub variations that you can create within that category. Now, if you're brand registered, you can then launch different campaign types, which are sponsored brands and sponsored display. Today, I'm going to go over the sponsored brand campaign type that is keyword based. But let's take a look at Amazon first so you can know what that is. Here in Amazon, you can see I've already done a search for bike rack, and this ad right at the top, actually anytime you search, the ad right at the top is a sponsored brand ad. Now there are different positions on the page, including some at the very bottom right here. These are also sponsored brand ads, and you can tell they've got a little bit more imagery and as well as a tagline, and most of them link directly to the store, either in this section or to the different products. Now, you have to have at least 3 different products for this top placement, and sometimes you'll see a lifestyle image here, which makes it pop a little bit better. But in today's version, I'm just going to show you how to create the basic one here that you see with the logo, the tagline, and the 3 different products. So let's take a look in Amazon. All right, once you've clicked the Create Campaign button, we're going to go ahead and click on Sponsored Brands, and then just go through this one at a time. Now, in sponsored product ads, if you saw those videos, I was naming the ad group before the campaign. For sponsored brands, there is the ad groups now, but you're still naming those second. So who knows, this might actually move up eventually, but right now, campaign name is still at the top. So I went ahead and already created the campaign name and saved it to my clipboard. And so I'm just going to go ahead and paste that here. Now again, always have your proper naming conventions. In this instance, I know this sponsored brand campaign is going to be for all different types of racks. It's sponsored brand, and actually I'm using brand keywords, so it's a very specific type of keyword-based campaign because I'll be using branded keywords in this example. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this to $100 a day. Of course, you can change that to whatever you want. I'd say $30 is the minimum, but for sponsored brands, they tend to get a lot of traction because of that placement right at the top of search. So you want to make sure you have a healthy budget ahead of time. Bidding, I go ahead and just leave that as is because it's basically saying that Amazon's going to automatically bid for those placements other than top of search, like at the bottom of the page that I showed you. Create ad group. Now again, this is a new setting and one in which you have to actually use if you want a video to be shown here in the top of search placement, which I did go over in another video. But either way, we always suggest one ad group per campaign, and that's why I like to just name the campaign name the same as the ad group name, since I know there's not going to be anything additional. So we're not clicking on video. I'm in video mode. We are doing the product collection. Now there is another type called Store Spotlight. Now if you want to use this one, it's just 3 different images, and each image goes to a different page in your store. So if you have a really healthy store, lots of good images, video, descriptions, this might be another campaign type that you want to launch. But the basic one that we're doing today is just product collection. That's just 3 products, and if the shopper clicked on one of these tiles, they'd actually go to the product detail page for one of those products. So we're going to go ahead and leave this on store because that's going to lead the top position I showed you next to the logo. There is a little link to a store, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that on the home page. And then we're going to go ahead and choose keyword targeting. In another video, I will show you how to do the product targeting version of this campaign. So once we leave it on keyword targeting, it's going to take a minute to reload. Again, you can go ahead and choose some of the keywords that you want here if you're running a brand new campaign. But again, I'm running a branded keyword campaign, so I actually know the exact keywords that I want to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and enter those here from my clipboard. Again, I always choose phrase matching for sponsored brands. If you want to be really aggressive, you can also do exact. I would avoid broad for sponsored brands, as I've been seeing a lot of, in this case, I definitely don't want to choose broad because it's a branded keyword. But even if these were not branded keywords, I've seen Amazon do a lot of things where they're just linking 2 different words to your sponsored brand versus 3 or 4 that you see here, and it could create a lot of wasted spend. So that's why I just like to use phrase, and I keep suggested bid on. You can, of course, increase these if you'd like to be more aggressive. Negative keywords, I don't have any negative keywords. This is a new market, and these are branded keywords, so not really anything negative there to add, but if you do have them from previous campaigns, you'd want to add them there. Ad name, I'm just going to keep this as it is. It's just the name of the ad, product collection ad with the date. I have not yet seen the benefit of changing this ad name, but that might change. So again, this is all kind of new. Amazon's laid out this whole step, all these different steps here. Now it's a little bit confusing if you haven't gone through it first, and I have a few times. And I actually like to start from the bottom up, especially in this example. You can kind of see that Amazon's already decided on the products that it's going to show, which is not good because I know what the 3 top products are. Amazon is kind of here just pulling in the top most recent 3 products. So if you're just launching new products in your sponsor brand ad, that might be a good idea. That's not the goal here. The goal here is we want to launch a sponsor brand ad that we know might perform better because we're going to do the top selling versions of these particular ones. So I know that the e-bike is brand new, so that's definitely something that I don't want to have as the top position. Mountain bike, which is the second one here, is actually the top seller for this particular brand. So that is what I want to be first. So we'll just switch it, and you can see mountain bike is now the top one here. And this one I also want to change because the 4-pack for the e-bike is not a top seller. So we're going to go ahead and add product, and the one I'm looking for, hopefully, you know what, I'll just type it in here. Classic. That's what I was looking for. All right, classic rack is selected. You just go ahead and go back. And now you can see the 3 different products that I wanted to showcase in this sponsor brand ad are listed here. Now you can grab these and move these around, which I want to do. Mountain bike is top seller, followed by the classic rack and then the fender rack. Are done with that. It's kind of confusing. You have to just keep going back. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this alone. Again, this was the custom image that I said was optional. It is marked. A headline, this is basically where you kind of tell Amazon what you want it to say in this kind of like headline, and these used to be called headline search ads. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste what I have from my clipboard. And you can see it showcases kind of what it's going to look like here. Space-saving vertically mounted bike rack storage. So again, click back. And then last but not least, the logo. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose from the creative assets. And I'm going to choose this one. I believe this is the one that looks the best for this particular one. Yes, perfect. So again, go back. Now all these are checked off. Now in other scenarios, let's say this was a video ad, the reason you want to start with the products first is because once you do enter those, Amazon will give you better keywords here that are more relevant, obviously, because it knows the product. So once Amazon knows what the product is, it can kind of give you better keyword suggestions. But in this case, since this is a sponsor brand ad with 3 different products, it just gave me generic ones, but I went ahead and entered my own. So that is it. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit for review. If there's any mistakes, it will let me know. But that's it. It looks like it went through just fine. So if you have any issues with sponsor brand ads, just keep trying different keywords, trying different headlines, trying different images if you use that custom image. Doing A/B testing is a good idea with a lot of these campaign types too. Maybe even changing the order of the products that are visible. But if you have good data and you're putting in the products that you know are top sellers, you should be good to go with this type of campaign.